Hi, I'm Christian Triola, author of The Missing Method for Guitar books, and in this video I'm going to show you how to play Roots Radicals by Rancid. But before we get started, make sure you download the PDF. It kind of helps explain everything that we'll be talking about in this video today. And mostly the focus of this video is helping you work on your power chords. Rancid is one of those bands that I've always loved. From the first time I heard them, I bought their albums. I still buy their albums when they come out. And basically, I don't think they have a bad album. They have some that are stronger than others, but every one of them has great songs on it. And probably the best, even though there are a lot of good ones, is an Out Come the Wolves. And that is where the song Roots Radicals comes from. And it is a great one to use to learn how to play power chords and practice power chords, as well as build up speed and to build up some picking hand technique. Okay, so the first thing you want to know is throughout the song, they're holding down 3-note power chords, and there's only 4 of them throughout the whole song. The main power chord, since we're in the key of C, is the chord C, or C5, and they're usually playing it in the 3rd position, just meaning you have your first finger at the 3rd fret, 5th string. Your ring finger would then go on the 4th string, 5th fret. Your pinky goes on the 5th fret of string number 3. Now, throughout the song, they're not always playing all 3 notes. In fact, whenever there's a palm mute, they're only hitting 2 notes. And you can hear that sound clearly throughout. The next chord that they play is the F5. So F5, we just come down to the 1st fret of the last string. We also have our 3rd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and the pinky finger on the 3rd fret of string number 4. And again, sometimes they play just the 2, sometimes they play all 3. And they kind of alternate between those, and we'll talk about that in more detail in a minute. The 3rd chord that comes up is the G5. And so that just takes that same exact pattern that we had here, moves it up 1, 2 frets to fret number 3. So we have 3rd fret last string, 5th fret 5th string, and 5th fret 4th string. All 3 together, and you've got the G5 power chord. So we have C, F, G. Pretty straightforward as far as the chord progression goes, but it sounds so cool in this song. So the other chord that comes up later in the song is the B flat 5. And so you play that on string 5, fret number 1. Also, you have another finger on string 4, fret number 3. And then on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, you also have a finger, which is another B flat note. And you play those together, and that comes up in the pre-chorus section of the song. So those are our 4 chords that make up the whole thing. So now we're going to take a look at how you would put those chords in context to play Roots Radicals. So first, let's take a look at the verse section. The first chord we have is the C5. So we put our fingers down on that C5 chord. And the first thing we do is palm mute just the 5th and 4th strings together. So we have followed by all 3 without the palm mute. So 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is how you would count that. Now after that 2, they do something that's a little bit unique. They hit a single note, which is that 3rd fret by itself as 16th notes. So it's 1 and 2 and like that. So it's real quick. Some players just even ignore that just so that you can get on to the next thing. But it's really there if you listen carefully. So mute, mute, chord, and then you do mute, mute, chord again. And I'm saying mute even though you are hitting the chord, just so you have an idea of how it should sound. So mute, mute, chord, and a mute, mute, chord. And then immediately it drops to the F5 with a palm mute. 3 mutes on that one because it's kind of the end of the first measure leading into the second measure. And 1 and 1 and chord. And 1 and chord. After that chord, it does that 16th note thing again on the last note of that chord, the F, and then it does the mute, mute chord again. So all together, just the F chord, mute, mute, mute chord, and a mute, mute chord. Mute, mute, mute chord, and a mute, mute chord. Then it moves up to the G5. But to start, we only do the and on the 3rd fret, and a mute, mute chord. And that's all there is to the G5 so far. And a mute, mute chord, like that. So here's what we have so far. After that G, we come back to F for the and mute, mute chord. So again, and mute, mute chord. Then we come up to the C5, and a mute, mute chord, and a mute, mute chord, and then the whole thing repeats. So here's that last C5 one more time, just to make sure you got it. It starts with pickups from the measure before, and a mute, mute chord, and a mute, mute chord, and a next measure. So here's one line of the verse. I'm going to play it slowly just so you can follow along with everything that's going on here. Mute, mute chord, and a mute, mute chord, and 1 and 2, and a mute, mute chord, and a 1 and 2. So you want to practice that over and over again, and so you can build up speed to get it all together. Something like that. I'd play it just a little bit faster, actually. But once you can play it up to speed, it's really a lot of fun. Okay, so that's most of the verse. At the very end of the verse, that pattern changes just a little bit, and actually the new pattern's even easier. All you do is you get the C5 chord, and you just play it out in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So all downstroke, like this. That leads you then into the pre-chorus. Now the pre-chorus is where we get that B flat 5 chord. Now I've seen a couple of different ways of playing this. The way that I have it tabbed out right now is it has a lot of eighth notes. I've also seen it played with just quarters, so it hits right on the beat. So here's what I mean. Here's one way of playing the pre-chorus. You get the B flat 5 that we talked about earlier on the 1st fret of the 5th string. And you do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by the F, same set of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by the G, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you play that G out with eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, all downstroke. An alternate way of playing it that I've also heard people do is that you play 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here it is again, the alternate version. And that takes you into the chorus itself. So between the two, I kind of like the alternate version better, just because it gives it a little bit more punch, a little bit more energy. And then we get to the chorus. So the chorus uses the same chords as the verses, but it changes it up a little bit. We have the C5, and here there's no palm muting. It's just straight ahead, in your face, punk rock. We have 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. All on that C5 chord, or down, 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 down. That's the first measure. Next measure, same strum pattern, but now we go F, down, 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 G, down, down, down. And then that repeats 3 times total to make up most of the chorus. So we have C, F, G, C, F, G, C, F, G, C. And then right at the end, right before we go back into the verse, there's a break on the 1. So there's nothing on 1, and then it just plays out on G5. So it's and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Like that. Okay, so here's the whole chorus together. And then that takes you right back to the verse. Just like that. And so it's really a lot of fun. It just alternates between those. Now there is a solo in there, a guitar solo and a couple of fills, but we're not going to go over those today. If you want to learn those, if you want me to make a video on that, just let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely get to that because it's not real hard and it's really a lot of fun to do. All right, so now that you've got a bulk of the song, what you'll want to do is take that and start building up speed. Listen to the original recording, see which version of the pre-chorus you think fits best, and then try to get it to their speed. And it takes time because you want to really get that palm mute accurate. You know, you don't want to just randomly select things. You want to have one. So you get those little fills and things in there as well. All right, so love this song. I love playing this one. I definitely recommend doing it as much as you can. Now, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe like everybody always tells you. Also, too, come visit our website, themissingmethod.com. We've got books on learning how to read chords, how to read notation, building your technique. We also have books of just blank sheet music of different styles so that you can write down your stuff and really learn this stuff, because that's the best way to learn, is to write it down yourself. Also, while you're on the website, don't forget, if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get a free ebook. So keep that in mind as well. So enjoy the tune, and I'll see you in the next video.